be doing a review of Project Runway Season 17, Episodes 1, 2, 3 and 4. And for those of you that don't know, Project Runway is one of my favourite shows ever. And the reason I do love Project Runway so much as a show is because it gives authentic designers who haven't got all this money behind them, who don't come from a rich background. It really gives them a chance to showcase their talent and what they can do. So let's just get straight into the review. So my first impressions on seeing the first episodes is, where the heck is Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum? We have a whole new host of judges, and I'm really happy that they have diversified the panel. I'm glad that they have Elaine Welteroth on there, and she is a journalist, and she was also the youngest and first black editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue. We still have the veteran who is Nina Garcia, who is the editor-in-chief of Elle magazine, and we have Brandon Maxwell as a fashion designer. I love his work. I think it's great. I do wish we had another fashion designer on the panel, just because it is a fashion design show, and whilst I do think that Nina Garcia and Elaine's opinions are going to be amazing, there may be some technical things that a fashion designer might see that Nina and Elaine may not see. And then we have Christian Siriano as a mentor. I absolutely adore Christian Siriano's work. Kind of wish that he was a judge, but I remember him from season 4. He was the youngest winner of Project Runway ever. In the first episode, he seemed a little bit nervous, still kind of trying to find his feet. But I love all these little shady moments that he gives us, like just with his eyes, like, are you going to use that? I absolutely love Christian Siriano. He always does these beautiful dramatic gowns for the carpet, so I think he was a perfect choice for the show. I just really missed Tim Gunn because he was like the godfather of fashion. I think this is a strong group of designers. I think I've seen stronger designers. In this particular season, you can definitely see some weaker designers. Frankie, she seems like such a lovely person, but she just kept crying and it was just annoying the heck out of me. Her swimsuit was really ill-fitting. Things kept falling off.
I do have to explain something because I can't have y'all thinking I'm this bad at sewing clothes. The distance from my model's shoulder to her crotch was maybe 5 inches different.
If you are going to sign up for the show, make sure that your sewing skills are on point. And I understand that they only have like one day or a couple of hours to complete a challenge, but to get up on stage and then have to explain your outfit so much or make all these excuses about why you couldn't execute it properly, it's just really not good enough. And in episode 1, we see Tessa win. The minimalist approach is not necessarily my approach, but I really appreciate her minimalist aesthetic and I really liked her work. Episode 2 for me is where it gets really interesting because you start seeing the designers' personalities. So they all had to get into teams of 3 and then all design an outfit based on the jewellery that they had been given to show off the jewellery and not cover it up. Now, I know that Tessa is an amazing designer, but she pissed me off in episode 2. But the audacity of her to walk over to Nadine and Hester's team and say to Nadine that you need to give Hester your fabric was just so out of order. I was watching it thinking, how dare you? Who do you think you are?
Can you alter your design a little so she could have more? And I get from Olivia, I'm not altering anything. I'm just asking. No, I can't.
It really annoyed me that Nadine got guilted into altering her own design in order for her teammate to succeed when her teammate was specifically instructed not to get all of that blue tulle.
Esther, wait, you're doing all this blue tulle? I know. Are you really? Oh my god, this blue tulle, this bridesmaid tulle.
It's very layering it to like change.
And we have no other options but blue tulle?
That whole episode just really rubbed me the wrong way. Tessa in this episode has such an entitled attitude in terms of thinking she can tell everybody else what to do. Like, I know you won last week, but settle your skin down a bit and go and do your work, seriously. She literally walked around the sewing room like she was Queen Bee. And I was just looking at her thinking, girl, you have won one challenge. Calm the F down. Like the famous Heidi Klum says, one day in fashion you are in and the next you are out. Just settle down, please. And another thing that really irritates me about her is that Sebastian patterned most of her work and again compromised his own work so that her look could be done.
I'm making a wool skirt that's cut out of bias strips and I have no idea how to accomplish this. Sebastian, can I avoid side seams?
I hear Tessa being like, Sebastian, I need you.
Sebastian, what do I do here?
She is definitely putting Sebastian to work.
Renee was so strong in episode 1, as you could see, where she did like the big reveal of her outfit, and then in this episode, in episode 2, she really fell short, and it was just so disappointing to watch. And then we see Frankie again, her clothes were so ill-fitting, and I was just like, girl, I like you, but it's time for you to go. Now, the designers I was really impressed with in episode 2, Sebastian. Sebastian's work is like a piece of art. Like, his work literally looked like it was coming out of her skin. I'm not sure what fabric he used, but it reminded me of the worker, the designer called Iris Van Herpen. So beautiful, so soft, fluid, very sculptural. I was so, literally, my breath was taken, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so stunning to look at. And then in episode 3 is where it gets interesting. They had to do a print challenge, and I was so excited because I love print. I designed with print, I designed with colour, so I thought this was going to be an amazing challenge. And whenever I watch these challenges on Project Runway, and it comes to the colour and print challenge, it absolutely blows my mind how many designers are so scared to work with colour. I'm just like, why are you so scared to work with colour? And then if they do have a print or a colour challenge, all of them tend to go with black or white and do a monochrome look. It is challenging working with print because you have to make sure all the pattern pieces line up, especially at the side seams. You've got to make sure that nothing is off. Usually if you're working with a plain fabric, as long as the pattern pieces are on the same grain, you can cut them maybe in different directions, but when you're working with the print, you have to cut them on the same grain, and you have to cut them in the same direction so that when you piece them together, everything matches up. And it's a lot about print placement, which can be quite difficult to do. So I can see why this episode is a little bit more challenging. And I was really excited in episode 3 because they introduced the celebrity stylist Marnie Senafante, and I absolutely love her. She styles Beyonce, she styles so many people, and I just love her personal style. She puts together so many things that I would never put together in an outfit, and somehow everything just works. Sometimes as a fashion designer, you need someone with fresh eyes to look at your work, to say to you, this could be worn like this, this could be broken down and worn in 3 different outfits instead of all together. Sometimes it's not that the designs are bad, it's sometimes that they've just been styled wrong. I think she can really help elevate the looks. Designers that I was really impressed with in this episode, again, Sebastian. His work is just like, I cannot believe he made that in a day. Like, I want that outfit, I need that entire outfit. Everything was just so perfectly sewn, so impeccable. The print wasn't garish, it didn't feel junior, it looked like it had just come out of Harvey Nicks, Selfridges. And I really love his backstory as well. I love that he's a housekeeper and does housekeeping so that he can fund his fashion design. Like, it's really important to remember that it's not about how you start, it's how you finish, and everybody has to start somewhere. And it really reminds me not to despise my humble beginnings. Your humble beginnings is ultimately what makes you who you are, and it's about doing what you can with what you have. Bishmi's work was just flawless from top to bottom. I love that he did a hat. The hat was just beautiful. I love that he created a backstory, and I think that when designers put a backstory behind the designs, it makes the look so much stronger. It makes it come to life because you know what purpose she has and you know where she's going. Onto the designers I was not a fan of. Rakon, what was he doing? I was literally watching it thinking, this looks like the dirty wash rag that you use to clean, I don't know, you know the bags that you can get potatoes in at the supermarket? That's what it looked like, and I was just thinking, I'm so confused. Like, I was just like, what is happening here? The whole outfit was just bad. Just throw the whole outfit in the bin, please, because I was just like, no, no, this is not it. Hester's design, I think, is it Hester? Heather? I can never remember her name. I loved her design. I feel like this was her challenge. It was right up her street. Everything from head to toe was just perfect. It was great. I'm glad that she used what she's strong at. I'm glad that she used her quirkiness to her advantage. However, I still think Sebastian should have won. I feel like Sebastian got robbed in this episode. I don't feel like she should have won over Sebastian. What I was really surprised about in this episode was Nadine's attitude. I was just like, Whoa, Nadine, what's going on?
I love this outfit. I just don't like it on my model. You're tall enough. You got long legs. You're supposed to be able to take some long strides. You're moving your shoulder too much. Once we got the models, I realized that I had a curvy model and I knew that I couldn't, express myself the way I wanted to with the volume.
I didn't appreciate the way she made her model feel so uncomfortable about her body shape. She was vexed from the beginning because she got a curvy model. But if you're a good designer, you should be able to design for models of any shape and size, and they've really tried to be inclusive in Project Runway with giving them curvier models and different size models and different shaped models to test them. And I just felt like she was on the stage talking to the judges, just digging herself a deeper and deeper hole. Her design was definitely not the worst up there at all. Her design was actually pretty good. Rakan should have definitely gone home, but I think that Nadine got sent home on the basis that her attitude was just unacceptable towards her model. And even at the end, instead of just leaving graciously, even though they probably have pissed you off, just leave with your head held high. I think she kind of left badly, and I just felt like, Nadine, you could have had a better exit than that, man. Come on. So I just watched episode 4 of Project Runway, and judges, are you crazy? How on earth can you send Arthur home? I'm so disappointed, honestly. The challenge this week for the designers was to make an outfit, a high fashion outfit from unconventional materials. So I really liked Hester's design, thought it was very, very strong, reminded me of something straight out of Black Panther that Ruth Carter would have designed. It was just really, really strong, and I'm glad that all the judges really liked it, but I'm really happy that Elaine pointed out the difference between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation, and pointing out that there's a very thin line between the two. I loved what she did with the bodice, that rope work with the glue gun and the bodice, and the way she used 2 different colours and just roped it around and did different shapes. It was just beautiful the way she designed. Bravo, Hester. Now, in my opinion, Garrow should have won because I feel like his dress was so beautifully made. I feel like it really celebrated his model's body. I feel like she looked like a princess of the forest. I feel like this bit that he did on her chest, that bit of embellishment, was just really, really pretty. His model looked stunning, and in my opinion, he should have won. I cannot understand how he was safe and Rakan was at the top. How? I don't know. I think Benny's look was also strong. I like that he used the keyrings as embellishments. I like that he did a cover up for his model because after all it was kind of like a survival challenge. Hated Jamal's look. I felt like it looked very studenty. I just felt like it looked quite messy. Again, I don't know what the judges saw in Rakan's look. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I thought it looked very overlayered. I thought it looked bulky. I thought it looked messy. Throw the whole look away. Rakan for me needs to go home now. I'm just not feeling his design. Even though Sebastian is usually my favourite, I feel like his look kind of fell short for me this week. I liked his use of the leaves. I did like the silhouette of the dress, but it just kind of felt a bit flat in comparison to some of the other designers like Hester's and Denny's and Garrow's. I really liked Renee's, and I'm glad that she won a challenge. I am surprised that she won because I did think there were stronger looks, but if I sit and think about it and think, did she stick to the brief? Did she do something that was high fashion, editorial, and also kept her model warm and was suitable for the elements and going camping? Yes. COVID, I do not understand how COVID stayed over Afa. Afa is the wrong designer to have been sent home this week, and I'm so disappointed because you could see how much Afa really, really wants to be here. You could see that it was just such a shell shock and a disappointment for him to be going home because I feel like he's such a strong designer. That look that he designed in episode 2 was so impeccable. For him to be sent home, it's just like, COVID's been in the bottom 2 twice. He's gave us probably one good look and he's still here. I don't really understand. I personally think they're keeping him around because he's good entertainment, he's good for TV, he'll make audience members laugh, but can he deliver a good outfit every week? I personally don't think so. Whereas Afa, I think, would have learned from this and just been on it. So guys, that is the end of my review. I hope you've loved it. Let me know your comments, let me know what your thoughts are, let me know if you've watched the episodes as well, and let me know what you think below. Keep an eye out for future videos because I will be reviewing this show week by week now instead of like a big chunk. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!